Hello, my name is Rutger Bregman. I'm a Dutch historian and the author of the book Humankind, A Hopeful History. You may also know me from my previous book, Utopia for Realists, which is about all kinds of crazy, radical ideas that may actually become reality in the future. I like to think that Humankind is a bit more ambitious. It's basically a new history of human nature, a new interpretation of our history as a species. In the past 15 to 20 years, there's been a silent revolution in science. Scientists from very diverse disciplines, anthropology, archaeology, sociology, psychology, have been moving from a quite cynical view of human nature to a much more hopeful view. Now, that doesn't mean we're angels. We're complex creatures with a good side and a not so good side. But considering the latest scientific evidence, we must conclude that we have for centuries navigated by a faulty self-image. For ages, we've assumed that people are selfish, that we're beasts or worse. Yet this view of humankind, this perspective on our history is unrealistic. We need to tell a new, better story about ourselves. I imagine you may be thinking to yourself, "Oh, that's lovely. This guy's written a nice, happy book about the power of kindness." But don't fool yourself. We're talking about a radical, dangerous idea here. Believing in the goodness of humanity is a subversive act with massive implications for how we organize everything in our lives, from our schools to our workplaces, from our democracies to our prisons. A cynical view of who we are has often been used by those at the top to legitimize their power. If we cannot trust each other, then we need them. Then we need the kings and the presidents, the CEOs and the managers. But if we can actually trust each other, if it's true that most people deep down are pretty decent, then that means that we can move to a much more egalitarian, genuinely democratic society. It means we can start a revolution. I'd like to invite you to join me on my journey. Along the way, I hope my book will help you to rethink many of your assumptions about your fellow human beings, and also yourself. If there's one thing I wanted to do with this book, it's to change the meaning of the word realism. So often we equate realism with pessimism or cynicism. But what if it's the other way around? What if the cynics are really naive? It's time for a new realism. It's time for a new view of humankind.